Dear viewers, greetings. Today, we dive into a grand spectacle on the horizon. The Fourth Plenary Session of the 20th Central Committee of the Chinese Communist Party, CCP. Scheduled for October 20th to 23rd, 2025, in Beijing, this meeting was originally expected last year, but delayed for a full year before its date was confirmed. On the surface, it's about deliberating the 15th five-year plan, charting China's economic and social development blueprint. But dig deeper, and this is no mere planning session. It's a battleground for a seismic power reshuffle within the CCP's top echelons, marking the gravest crisis of Xi Jinping's regime. On one front, his military loyalists are falling one after another, threatening his grip on the armed forces. On another, economic indicators have hit rock bottom with no rebound in sight. And then there's the sudden consumption restriction on former richest man Wang Jianlin, whose wealth has plummeted by 82 billion yuan in a year, striking a direct blow to the Xi family's backing. Will the Fourth Plenum become Xi Jinping's Waterloo? Will he be forced to relinquish the sword of the Central Military Commission chairmanship? Today, we'll peel back the layers of public narrative to reveal the truth. Let's start with the context of this meeting. On September 29th, 2025, the CCP Politburo convened and set the dates for the Fourth Plenum, with the primary agenda of reviewing the CCP Central Committee's proposals for the 15th five-year plan. This plan, meant to guide national economic and social development, was supposed to be discussed at last year's third or fifth plenum, but was postponed to this year. Why? The official narrative is silent, so let's speculate. The CCP's meeting cadence has always been deliberate. Fourth plenums typically focus on party regulations and personnel arrangements, but this one includes the weighty 15th five-year plan, signaling its significance. Analysts suggest this year-long delay wasn't due to a busy schedule. It was due to chaos. Last July, during the third plenum, Xi Jinping's sudden hospitalization gave regime opponents a window to maneuver. Military purges, pressure from party elders, and a sinking economy piled up like a mountain of crises, forcing the CCP leadership to buy time to regroup. As a result, the planning discussion was shifted from the fifth to the fourth plenum, with formal adoption slated for next March's two sessions. This isn't coincidence. It's a buffer period for power struggles. Historically, fourth plenums have been turning points. The 18th Fourth Plenum marked the peak of Xi's anti-corruption campaign. The 19th cemented institutional control. Now, will the 20th Fourth Plenum signal the collapse of Xi's system? Turning to the economy, CCP state media paints a rosy picture, claiming Xi is personally steering the 15th five-year plan, upgrading Made in China 2025 with a focus on high-end technology and consumption stimulus. It sounds lofty, but reality bites. August 2025 economic data revealed industrial output and consumption hitting yearly lows, with recession signals worse than anticipated. Bloomberg's economic forecast projects China's average annual growth at just 3.8% from 2025 to 2034, a myth-shattering figure. U.S.-China trade talks remain deadlocked, with U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent urging the CCP to prioritize consumption. Yet Xi persists with housing is for living, not speculation, pushing chip self-reliance while facing US-EU tech blockades. Exports show resilience, but domestic demand is weak, unemployment looms, and lying flat has become a youth trend. If the 15th five-year plan prioritizes tech over people's livelihoods, can the economy take off? Hardly. The plan's prominence isn't about saving the economy. It's Xi's talisman to stabilize the military and suppress public discontent. But just before the fourth plenum, Wang Jianlin's consumption restriction scandal tore through that facade. Wang Jianlin's fall from grace is a tragic ballad of Chinese business. On September 26, 2025, a Lanzhou court in Gansu issued a consumption restriction order against him over Wanda's failure to settle a 1.86 billion yuan debt. The news exploded online. Wang Jianlin barred from flights, high-speed train sleepers, luxury hotels, and high-end spending. It topped trending lists on September 28th, only to mysteriously vanish by September 29th. Wanda's response? A vague claim of economic disputes at a project company and asymmetric enforcement information. Sounds official, but who buys it? Wanda Commercial Management's Q3 2024 liabilities reached 299 billion yuan, with 408.84 billion in non-current liabilities due within a year, 38.89 billion in short-term loans, and 1,064.6 billion in long-term loans. Over 3 years, Wanda sold 109 plazas for 50 billion yuan. By May 2025, it offloaded 48 core plazas to PAG, Tencent, and JD.com for 60 billion yuan, losing control. Wang's personal wealth shrank from 140.8 billion yuan last year to 58.8 billion, dropping his ranking from 9th to 51st. His companies face over 7 billion yuan in enforced judgments and 41.5 billion in frozen equity until 2027 to 2028. This isn't just a debt crisis, it's a political purge. Wang's rise was a saga of clinging to power. Early on, he aligned with Bo Xilai. After Bo's fall, he pivoted to Xi Jinping. In 2013, Forbes named him China's richest man with 86 billion yuan. In 2016, he was listed among Time's 100 most influential people and received a Forbes Lifetime Achievement Award. His true anchor? The Xi family. In 2015, New York Times reporter David Barboza exposed how Xi's sister Qi Qiaoqiao and brother-in-law Deng Jiagui held hidden Wanda stakes via white gloves, exiting before the IPO for massive profits. At a Harvard speech, Wang inadvertently admitted, Mr. Deng Jiagui sacrificed huge interests, holding shares for 6 years without cashing in, ostensibly defending Xi's strict governance of family. It exposed elite secrets, shares nominally transferred to cronies, with profits still controlled. Voice of America followed up, with Wang's own words confirming Xi family holdings. Barboza's analysis dubbed this the white glove phenomenon. CCP elites mask wealth by transferring shares to proxies like Su Zixing, while remaining the true bosses. Wang's Harvard speech not only admitted ties to the Xi, Jia, and Wang Jiagui families, but revealed a $500,000 investment by Wang Jiagui's relatives, now worth 1,000-fold. Wang's restriction isn't coincidence, it's a warning shot. On the eve of the Fourth Plenum, with military control slipping and the economy tanking, Xi is settling old and new scores. Wang's patron? The Xi family. This isn't just striking a dog, it's killing a chicken to scare the monkeys. Any white glove risks being next. Look at Su Jiayin, Sun Dao, Ren Jiqiang. Tycoons topple from their peaks. Pan Xi saw it coming. Making money isn't key. Running fast is. Li Ka-shing long ago pulled out overseas. Wang, spotted in late August, gaunt, selling off legendary entertainment, Sunseeker yachts, and 30% of Kuaixin Finance to Ruei. From 2023 to 2024, Ruei acquired 100% of Wanda Investment, indirectly controlling Wanda Film. A lean camel may outsize a horse, but to the CCP, tycoons are tools, used and discarded. The September 29th lifting of Wang's restriction, a power block compromise or the calm before a bigger storm. Wang's tragedy mirrors the fate of Chinese private enterprises. Rise by clinging to power, fall when favor fades. Yet Wang's restriction is just the tip of the iceberg. The real crisis lies in the military. The CCP's mantra, power grows from the barrel of a gun, makes military control the lifeblood of leadership. Deng Xiaoping ousted Zhao Ziyang in 1989 by holding the military. Jiang Zemin clung to the Central Military Commission post-retirement, rendering Hu Jintao and Wen Jiabao's orders toothless. Today, Xi, though CMC chair, sees his loyalists arrested or vanished, with real military power slipping to Zhang Youxia. This isn't trivial. It's a sign the tide has turned. Take Miao Hua, the former director of the CMC Political Work Department and admiral, a Xi loyalist from Fujian, was re-elected to the CMC at the 20th Congress. He was Xi's left arm in the military. On November 28, 2024, Defense Ministry spokesperson Wu Qian announced Miao was suspected of serious disciplinary violations and suspended for investigation. On March 14, 2025, the Military People's Congress revoked his NPC delegate status. By May 29, the NPC Gazette escalated it to serious violations of discipline and law. On June 27, he was stripped of his CMC post. The charges? Forming cliques, engaging in political factions, and attempting to influence the 21st Congress military lineup. Whistleblower Zhao Lonjian revealed that on April 17th, a CMC document branded Miao and He Weidong as treacherous yet loyal seeming, with unforgivable crimes, launching a formal probe. Miao's case implicated 108 generals and over 500 field-grade officers. As the overseer of military promotions, his fall signals the collapse of Xi's special ops network in the military. Even more explosive is He Weidong, CMC vice chair and Politburo member, another Xi confidant. He was catapulted at the 20th Congress from a non-delegate to CMC vice chair, breaking a 72-year precedent. After the two sessions closed on March 11, 2025, he vanished. He missed the CMC tree planting event on April 2nd, the Central Foreign Affairs meeting on April 8th, and the Politburo meeting on April 25th. The Financial Times reported on April 10th, citing 6 sources, that he was under investigation for corruption. If true, he'd be the first CMC vice chair to fall in office since 1989. The Washington Times quoted defense officials confirming he's political purge. Analyst Yuan Hongbing tied He's case to Miao's fallout, involving property funds in Beijing, Shanghai, and Jiangsu, implicating over 100 people. Zhao Lonjian reported on March 13th that he was detained upon returning to his office post-2 sessions, with his Beijing and Shanghai residences searched. The tension signals a military leadership earthquake. With Miao Hua and He Weidong down, Xi's military arms are broken. Before the 20th Congress, Xi's anti-corruption campaign felled over 160 senior generals. Post-Congress, the purge continued. CMC member and Defense Minister Li Shangfu, Rocket Army commanders Wei Fenghe, Zhou Yaning, and Liu Chao, all decimated. And Zhang Youxia, as CMC first vice chair, retained past the age limit at 75. His father Zhang Zongxuan, a Xi family friend from Shaanxi, was a Northwest Field Army deputy, a seeming loyalist, but the dynamics are subtle. At the 2025 2 sessions close, Xi exited and Zhang turned away without looking back, a telling image. At the September 3rd parade, Zhang stood prominently in Tiananmen's front row, frequently in CCTV shots. At the September 17th war commemoration, he was ever by Xi's side. At a military training event, in combat fatigues, he took center stage, interacting with troops, exuding control. Zhang's counteroffensive began with Xi's hospitalization at last July's Third Plenum. Rumors suggest Zhang orchestrated the removal or arrest of Xi's military allies, starting with He Weidong and Miao Hua. In June, bypassing the theater command system, Zhang convened a military reform meeting, abolishing theaters to restore 7 military regions and 4 general departments, consulting retired officers and even junior suggestions for seniors, an embryonic quasi-democracy. The era of spousal politics ended, and CMC personnel experts were ousted. Zhang's army cliques solidified, Li Qiaoming, Wu Yanan, Su Deqing, and Huang Ming controlling central and northern theaters. At the September 17th commemoration, Zhang Shoudong entered the CMC Joint Operations Center. Yuan Honggang led the Tibet Military District, Chao Junzhong proxied as PAP commander, and Liang Ping anchored the Central Theater. Reform-era generals were sidelined. Zhang secured all key posts. Is this an elder-led anti-Xi push? February 2025 rumors claimed Xi's retirement was imminent, with Hu Jintao, Wen Jiabao, and Hu Deping pulling strings, and Zhang holding military reins. Analyst Willie Lam notes the delicate Xi-Zhang relationship. Despite their father's ties, recent friction is evident. Zhang, long patient, struck hard after the Rocket Army and Equipment Department's collapse. Wu Jianmin says Zhang, under the guise of clearing Miao's poison, purged Xi's military, hollowing out the CMC chair's power. At the September 3rd parade, Zhang beamed in the state leader row, while Xi's parade commander was demoted to a lieutenant general. The fourth plenum spotlight is Xi's fate. CCP power struggles hinge on military control, Mao's era, Deng's era, and Xi's era alike. Whoever holds the military wins. If He Weidong's investigation is confirmed at the plenum, Xi's downfall is certain. Former CCDI official Dr. Wang Jianlin argues Xi's anti-corruption campaign alienated too many party, government, and military elites, making it unlikely he'll retain his party leader or CMC chair roles. If Zhang secures military control, he could push Xi to the sidelines. If not, Xi might use the 15th five-year plan to counterattack. Friends, the fourth plenum isn't just about personnel. It's the CCP's gun barrel speaking. History shows the CCP thrives on survival of the fittest. Deng held the military. Jiang clung to it. Hu and when endured in silence. She rose from Fujian allies to military loyalists, only to face collapse on the eve of the fourth plenum. Military purges have swept hundreds of generals. The 15th five-year plan masks economic decline. World China's politics head post-plenum. The truth remains shrouded. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. See you next time.